A chip that isn't even finished yet, isn't even available in any store, isn't even a real product you can go buy right now, just showed up in benchmarks and straight up embarrassed Intel's entire current lineup. Not by a little, not by some tiny margin you need a spreadsheet to see. We're talking about a 10-core engineering sample, an unfinished test chip that AMD hasn't even finalized yet, walking into Geekbench and absolutely demolishing chips that people are spending serious money on today. And the part that really gets me, the part I genuinely cannot stop thinking about, is that this chip isn't even done cooking. It's still improving. The numbers went up by nearly 10% in multi-core within just a few days of each other on the same piece of silicon. Whatever AMD is building with Zen 6, it is not a normal generational upgrade. This is something different. And if you think you understand how fast computers are about to get, I promise you, by the end of this video, you are going to have to completely recalibrate that assumption. So let's get into it right from the very beginning, because the full story here is actually way bigger than just one benchmark result. So the chip in question is called Medusa Point. That's the internal code name AMD is using for its upcoming Zen 6 based mobile processor. And before we even get to the numbers, I want to explain why the word mobile matters here, because it completely changes the context of everything that follows. When chip designers build a mobile processor, they are working under constraints that simply don't exist in the desktop world. They have to worry about battery life. They have to worry about thermals inside a thin laptop chassis. They have to worry about power consumption in ways that a desktop chip sitting inside a massive tower with a huge cooler never has to think about. Mobile chips are always slower than their desktop counterparts. Always. That's just the nature of the engineering trade-offs involved. Power is limited, cooling is limited, and so performance has to be pulled back. So when you see a mobile chip posting numbers that make you sit up straight, you have to multiply that shock by a significant factor when you start thinking about what the desktop version is going to do. Keep that in the back of your mind because we're going to come back to it hard. Now, the specific engineering sample that showed up on Geekbench is listed under the identifier AMD Plum MDS1. It has 10 cores, 20 threads, split into 2 clusters, one cluster with 4 cores and another with 6 cores. The chip peaked at a boost clock of 537 GHz during testing. It also carries 10 megabytes of L2 cache and 32 megabytes of L3 cache, which is notably higher than the 24 megabytes of L3 that you get on the current Strix Point generation. And then you get to the scores. Single core came in at 3,329 points on Geekbench 6. Multi-core landed at 16,555. Now those numbers mean nothing in isolation, so let me put them next to something real so you feel the gap properly. AMD's current mobile flagship is the Ryzen AI 9 HX370. 12 cores, top of the line, what you pay premium laptop money to get right now in 2026. The chip averages around 2,605 in single core and 13,397 in multi-core on the same benchmark. So let's do the math, because the math is what makes this shocking. The Zen 6 sample is roughly 28% faster in single core and around 23 to 24% faster in multi-core against the current 12-core flagship. A 10-core chip is beating a 12-core chip by nearly 30% in single-thread performance. But wait, it gets more interesting. When you compare against the 10-core Ryzen AI 9365, which is the current chip with the same core count, those gaps stretch out even further to around 35% in single-core and 33% in multi-core, 1/3 faster in single-thread, with fewer cores than the chip it's beating on multi-core. That is not a normal generational jump. That is a completely different tier of performance. And here's the detail that I keep coming back to, because it tells you everything about what is actually happening here at the architectural level. The Zen 6 sample hit those massive scores while averaging just 4.46 GHz across the run. Think about that for a second. The current Zen 5 chips that it's destroying were running at higher average clock speeds. Zen 6 is producing bigger numbers at lower frequency. That means the improvement is not coming from just cranking up the clock speed and calling it a day. The improvement is coming from doing more work per clock cycle. In CPU engineering, that's called IPC, instructions per clock, and a genuine IPC improvement is the hardest and most meaningful kind of gain you can achieve. It's real, it's architectural, and it cannot be faked. You can't fake IPC. When a chip does more per tick, that's not a marketing trick, that's engineering. But the process node is only part of the story. AMD also completely redesigned the core itself. The Zen 6 front-end is now 8 wide, meaning the processor can fetch and decode 8 instructions per clock cycle compared to 6 on Zen 5. The branch predictor has been redesigned from scratch. The instruction reorder buffer has been enlarged. AMD added a new micro-op cache to the design. The entire front end of the processor, the part that decides what work gets done and in what order, has been rebuilt. On the official AMD side, when they unveiled Zen 6 architecture on July 22nd, 2026, they confirmed a 25 to 30% IPC gain over Zen 5. 25 to 30%. That is an enormous number for a single generation. To put it into perspective, the jump from Zen 4 to Zen 5 was around 16% IPC. From Zen 3 to Zen 4, it was about 13%. AMD just announced a gain roughly double what we saw in the last 2 generations. And the benchmark results we're seeing from this engineering sample line up completely with that claim, which means this isn't hype. This is real. Now let's zoom out for a second and talk about what all of this means for Intel, because that's really the headline here, and it deserves a full and honest treatment. Intel right now is in a genuinely difficult position. Their current desktop lineup is Arrow Lake, the Core Ultra 200 series, and that launch was rough. The chips had real performance issues at launch. Required driver and BIOS patches to get to where they should have been from day one. They never really captured the gaming crown that AMD's X3D lineup has been holding on to for years. Arrow Lake is not a bad product after the fixes. It's a capable chip for productivity work, but in gaming it still trails behind the Ryzen 9800X3D in most benchmarks that matter. And that gap in certain cache-sensitive titles can be very significant. Intel knows this. They've been working on Nova Lake, which is their next generation desktop architecture, and there's a real plan there that I actually think has genuine merit. Nova Lake S will come with the Core Ultra 400 series branding, new Coyote Cove P cores and Arctic Wolf E cores, and Intel is reportedly targeting massive core counts with the flagship, reaching a wild 52 core configuration across 2 compute tiles. There's also talk of a large cache gaming variant that would be Intel's direct answer to AMD's X3D chips. That part is exciting. But here's the problem. Nova Lake is not coming until 2027. Intel confirmed the timeline has slipped. The closest thing Intel has right now for desktop is an Arrow Lake refresh with slightly better clock speeds, and that is not going to move the needle in any meaningful way against what AMD is about to unleash. So when Zen 6 desktop hits, probably announced at CES 2027 with availability in the first half of 2027, Intel's answer is also just arriving at the same time with 0 benchmarks publicly available yet, and 0 certainty about how it actually performs in the real world. AMD, on the other hand, has engineering samples already improving week over week, architecture fully documented, the EPYC Venice server chips already in production on the same 2nm node, and a clear consumer roadmap locked in. The server chips already launched, and early data from those is confirming that the Zen 6 architecture is as strong as AMD says it is. Let's talk desktop specifics, because this is where things go from impressive to genuinely wild. The desktop Zen 6 lineup is codenamed Olympic Ridge and will become the Ryzen 1000 series. It will still use the AM5 socket, which AMD confirmed runs through at least 2029, meaning if you already own an X670 or B650 motherboard, you are getting Zen 6 with nothing more than a BIOS update. That platform longevity is something Intel simply cannot offer right now, given how many socket changes they've gone through over the past several years. The desktop CCDs will use TSMC's N2P node with 12 cores per chiplet instead of the current 8, meaning a dual chiplet desktop chip could go up to 24 cores and 48 threads. Each CCD will also carry 48 megabytes of L3 cache, up massively from 32 megabytes on the current Zen 5 chips. More cores, more cache, better architecture, better process. And the clock speeds. Leaks throughout 2026 have pointed toward Zen 6 desktop chips hitting somewhere between 6.5 and 6.6 GHz boost in the shipping versions, with earlier internal targets having been even more aggressive at around 7 GHz. Even at 6.5 GHz, that is the highest clock speed AMD has ever put into a consumer desktop CPU. When you combine that with a 25 to 30% IPC improvement, the performance delta over current generation chips becomes enormous. Now think about what happens when AMD puts 3D V-cache on top of all of that. The current Ryzen 9800X3D is the absolute gaming king right now, precisely because of how much cache it has and what that does for frame rates in games that are sensitive to data locality. The upcoming X3D versions of Zen 6 are expected to have up to 144 megabytes of L3 cache per CCD, which would be a staggering amount of on-chip memory. And if you look at how much cache matters in gaming, early speculation from credible analysts suggests that Zen 6 X3D variants could deliver gaming performance improvements of 25 to 40% in cache-sensitive titles compared to what we have today. There's an even wilder take floating around from a few credible community analysts that the base Zen 6 desktop chip without any X3D stacking, just regular Zen 6 with its 48 megabytes of standard L3, might match or come very close to the current 9800X3D in gaming. Not the Zen 6 X3D, just regular Zen 6. If that turns out to be true, the X3D version of Zen 6 desktop is going to be a completely different category of performance that we don't really have a reference point for right now. And now circle back to that mobile engineering sample. That unfinished 10-core chip running at 4.46 GHz on average is already beating Intel's current consumer desktop lineup in single core, not just laptops, desktop chips. A mobile chip, power limited, thermally constrained, not yet optimized, from a company that just publicly confirmed 25 to 30% IPC gains, is already ahead of what you can go buy at a computer store today. When the desktop version arrives, running at 6.5 GHz with 12 cores per chiplet, more cache, better power headroom, and no mobile thermal constraints at all, the gap is only going to get bigger. Now, I want to be completely straight with you here because I think being accurate matters more than just feeding hype. These are engineering samples. The final retail chips will likely perform somewhat differently, and there's always the possibility that AMD encounters manufacturing or yield challenges that shift the timeline or affect the final specs. The 7 GHz target that was floated early on has already been walked back somewhat, with the current credible number sitting around 6.5 to 6.6 GHz for the initial desktop release. And while EPYC Venice has validated the architecture on 2 Neller in a server environment, consumer silicon is a different thing entirely with different power and thermal targets. The confirmed desktop announcement is CES 2027, with commercial availability in the first half of 2027. So if you're sitting here right now thinking about whether to build a new PC immediately, that timeline matters. If you need a machine right now, the Ryzen 9000 series is still genuinely excellent. The 9800X3D in particular remains the best gaming CPU money can buy in mid-2026. But if you can hold on for another 6 to 8 months, what's coming on the other side of that wait is going to be remarkable by any standard. And I think the broader picture here is actually the most important thing to take away from all of this. We are living through a period of genuinely intense CPU competition that is better for consumers than anything we've seen in at least a decade. AMD came back from near irrelevance with Zen architecture in 2017, and that competition forced Intel to completely rethink how they were building chips. The result was better products from both companies and lower prices for everyone who buys a CPU. That dynamic is now hitting an entirely new level. AMD is on 2 Neller with completely redesigned cores, more cores per chiplet, massive cache upgrades, and the world's highest mobile clock speeds, heading toward the world's highest desktop clock speeds. Intel is responding with Nova Lake, with hybrid architectures, pushing into 52-core territory, with a large cache gaming variant designed specifically to fight the X3D lineup, and with their 18A manufacturing process pushing into production. This is not AMD running unopposed. Intel is fighting back seriously, and the products they're showing internally are real. But AMD is not waiting around for Intel to catch up either. The pace of improvement from Zen 6 is the kind of thing that resets the competitive baseline and forces everyone to work harder. That's always been the pattern in this industry. When one company makes a massive leap, the other company doesn't just surrender. They double down. They go back to their engineers and say, we need something better. And the people who benefit from that cycle are the people building PCs, buying laptops, upgrading their machines. When AMD released Ryzen in 2017, Intel went from charging absurd prices for 4-core processors to suddenly rushing out 6-core and 8-core mainstream chips. Competition does that. And right now, AMD is about to fire a shot with Zen 6 that is going to make Intel accelerate everything they're doing with Nova Lake. The end result is that 2027 is shaping up to be the most interesting and genuinely exciting year in consumer PC hardware that we've had in a very long time. Maybe ever, honestly. The mobile engineering sample that kicked all of this off is still being tuned. The same chip that posted 3,329 in single core just a few days earlier had posted 3,174, a nearly 5% single core improvement and a nearly 10% multi-core improvement within a single short testing window. The platform firmware is still being finalized, the power limits are still being adjusted, the cooling solutions in the test environment are still being optimized. Every single one of those variables has headroom to improve before this thing ships. And when it does ship, whether in mobile first or desktop first, it is going to fundamentally change the conversation about what a fast processor looks like. I started this video by saying that AMD built something that makes Intel's current lineup look useless, and I want to be clear about what that means and what it doesn't mean. Intel's Arrow Lake chips are not bad chips. They are capable processors that do real work for real people every single day. The Core Ultra 200 series powers millions of laptops and desktops and does that job well. What I mean when I say useless is that the value proposition of those chips, the reason you choose them over alternatives, is about to become much harder to justify when Zen 6 retail silicon shows up. Because when a mobile engineering sample is already ahead in single core, and when the desktop version is going to be significantly more powerful than that mobile sample. And when the architecture improvements are confirmed and the manufacturing node is validated in server production already, the picture becomes very clear. AMD is about to swing harder than they have in years, and that swing is going to land. The benchmarks say so, the architecture says so, the manufacturing says so, and the server data, the ePOC Venice performance numbers coming out of data centers right now, is confirming everything the leaks have been saying for the past 12 months. The PC world in 2027 is going to look dramatically different from the PC world in 2025, and it's going to be better for everyone. That is the actual story underneath all of these numbers. Not that Intel is finished, because they're not, but that the competitive pressure AMD is creating right now with Zen 6 is going to push the entire industry forward in a way that has not happened in a generation. And that is something genuinely worth being excited about. If this kind of deep breakdown is what you're looking for every week, make sure you subscribe, because this space is moving fast, and I'm watching every single leak, every benchmark, every confirmed architecture document the moment it drops. There's a lot more coming between now and CES 2027, and I'm going to cover every piece of it. See you in the next one.